This is Boadu TV. Truth and integrity.
First time I will share. Na wa subscribe my channel na wa like video ja comment comment section mo na yakwanim na Mustapha Gbande Deputy General Secretary de ma NDC amanyoko no wacha say 2020 about no NDC for die oh no matter omodaye eno matina ho ma ewiem na fia about one de omakwakope abapa no mabio manini se na omde ewura ase ntino omani kumkra ntimi nkanto what I say omabio mani se pa na de behwe EC omedwumedi amudi ebra ye registration exercise no nkono bai na EC sesi na chana no ba sesa na no je mensa o one bossman asare dwo mu di amudo mu nimi so mu ye MPP for no o se omabio mani fi ehwom na anya don be lose kra edama MPP amayiko omunye lose bakosi kra amfamom eni EC etis hafi o madwe so be wiem dia ene omo betie hwam papa na se no mani si kono e wo se John Dramani Mahama 24-hour economy o dey pa na ebebo Ghana for yes na special advisor de ma afavanto alanchire chematin ono so akasa de afa dia NPP wo mema omunyine susu se wanhwe aba no
ye ko abato Electoral Commission e referee e se true bia din sadin no ye de koto Electoral Commission na ya compile bibia friend voters register nti ukoto din a ukoto aba ye udin kire wo a wo de certificate of edintrona why na friend voters ID card now they are no akoto aba captain the limited registration first one yeah second one near mop up near extension obekai a basin in na yeti the Electoral Commission have not been able to tell Ghanaians say sir dinchona yatrono this is the total of the number of mature women potentially to be able to register subject to various scrutiny, double registration, and they are flagging on they have not been able to do that to Ghanaians. Two, you friend exhibition obia just say polling station no trust e dina watro ya print here no within that so mu ana ya spell within rightly who age you correct who phone ya da ho captain ya ko exhibition na wa watro within ye wo kasoa no ya transfer the whole northern region say control about without your consent ni akota male saf ni a transfer crowdfunding the Kopusiga without their consent ni akọ Cape Coast over 3,800 ni a transfer wo mu efi ho yes
said the man won't mean to about it
correct so Electoral Commission if you are pretending not to be aware because we have a strong backup team okay 2020 Ghana force yada 2016 yada omudi ayen 2024 year yes ni besia ye beye bia ye be win election no and it's rightful as a rightful context being won we will do it and think of one analysis and you say all these things are happening and you throw letter say yanka issue no yanko IPAC emergency IPAC nyemfa further and better particulars emphama Electoral Commission of the things we have discovered so that indoor because we believe say these things emanated from administration not operational. Electoral Commission response they say oh it is normal say provisional voters register will have errors. What we have identified are not errors. They are deliberate, orchestrated, manipulated, intentional a year or more. There are people within the Electoral Commission who are actors to perpetrate fraud on the current voters register. And the evidence is that what we have seen, the Electoral Commission admits, they have admitted that what the NDC have seen is true. But yet they say that we have given you a robust voters register. This is a defeat of logic. You can't come to the table of intellectuality with such level of deficiency. Captain, when you see one more answer say, quite apart from the fact that provisional voters register can have errors, they have a robust system. You see you, and almost sit. You better call emergency IPAC meeting. Even before the meeting, Sunday, you are intercepting. All directors of the Electoral Commission have been ordered to work on the already exhibited voters register. Does that not defeat the exercise of exhibition? You exhibited you. The turnout was low. We have identified deliberate, calculated mistakes. You have ordered your directors to go and correct. Does that not defeat the already occurred exhibition? Instead of some bossman betraying IPAC, MPP tiho, NDC tiho, Ubia tiho, near discussing issues, near fine tuning the way forward. No, Omo press conference PR, and in that PR, Bossman Asari described the errors as honest mistakes. Adia ya transfer within Edia Kobabi. I wouldn't. Adia wa punish you director in Pusigase wa transfer data without your knowledge. Electoral Commission agrees to say the officer have transferred names without their knowledge, but yet said they are reasonable mistakes. Captain, we are in dangerous times. Look, the document that we call today as a provisional voters register is not a register. It's not fit for purpose. It's a fraudulent document, a manipulated document, mixed up values. There is no clarity in terms of genuineness. That document cannot represent a voters registration document. That is what the NDC is saying. Now, the silence of the MPP throughout this conversation is more suspicious than ever. For any serious political party a year election, you should be interested that some names are missing mysteriously from the voters register. You should be interested that people are illegally being transferred, but the MPP is quiet. Does that mean that they will be beneficiaries of the potential manipulation? Those are the questions we're asking. Then they say, oh, we are not going to join the call of MPP, but anything, the NDC, anything that will give us a clean, transparent process, we are for it. Is that not double standard and hypocrisy? Captain, Yendi MPP primaries, okay, you see here. Electoral Commission, here's about one also. It was a flawed election, rigged election. Wale constituency, today, you just mentioned it. Again, irregularities, double voting, flawed election. Today, as we speak, about 3 former MPs of the MPP are going on independent because they believe that processes leading to their losing of election was not fair, was compromised, was manipulated. These are the kind of people we are going to election with. People who have developed a strong appetite of stealing everything, everywhere. They want to steal anywhere they get opportunity. And we are saying that Ghanaians have registered. Mubaye, Kukumutine de Mubaye. And Yabani Atune de Nanadubai. Today, when you mention election, MPP is running away. But when you mention stealing, rigging, they are all for it. We will not go into the 2024 election with any compromise process. We will not. That will not happen. So the NDC have called for a re-exhibition. So that let all Ghanaians go and see again if their name is there. Because the MPP, the Electoral Commission is full of reasonable mistakes. 2, if they agree that there was theft, there was transfer, there was illegal transfer of names, then why don't we audit the whole system. Because one, the Electoral Commission agrees when we exposed that some BVR machines were missing. They agreed with us. We said, let us do inventory. They did not agree. Subsequently, you said machine never will be torn or just to say phone. Data idea they will be torn. So how many of these incidents exist that the public do not know? So is it not better in the interest of the Electoral Commission say you better audit? Now Ubia will go into the election with a clean mind. So there's nothing being hidden from the public. So that is where the NDC stands.
Sir, it's when you know EC today, we accept my proposals and say a exhibition for fraud and as a day.
Yet the employee, okay, a trust and KB Kenya IPAC emergency meeting.
Okay.
In all fairness, because the things that have been identified, the fundamental fraudulent manipulations are more administrative than operational. Now all political parties fairly appreciate the issues. Then we can fine-tune through discussions where we stand. Almost say set a scheduled date for emergency IPAC meeting. Even before that set, the Electoral Commission is in the public. Obianta Electoral Commission also it is running. What has it got to hide? Nobody is chasing the Electoral Commission. When we identify the issues, the director of election, Dr. Omanebu, decided that look, let us be fair. Yan Tronkoma Electoral Commission to draw the attention. So we wrote, say, we will not also give you just a letter. No, because you are not aware of the issues. In all fairness, let's bring our sister parties to the table. Further and better particulars of the issues that we have identified. Then we can resolve it together. The Electoral Commission is on high speed trying to please the public. When you are morally and integrity deficient in the eyes of the public. Look at when Danyao spoke at the Fortinke Forum. Did you see the rousing excitement from Ghanaians? How can you be a referee that no single player trusts you except the MPP? And Captain, going into this election, Bossman Asare is the single most dangerous element and actor within the Electoral Commission. So I'm here, he will take this nation to chaos. Yes. Bossman Asare is a dangerous actor, very dangerous, exposed, grown appetite to rig the 2024 election, not even the commissioner herself now. Bossman Asare, and I'm telling you, and he thinks that because government has put some 5 soldiers around him holding Rasfor, he is fortified to rig the election. He's joking. He is joking. Let me tell you, they are joking.
And that's also 2020.
Let me tell the government. Let me tell the government that anybody who thinks or no will compromise an election, nobody will be a president in 2025 out of a flawed, compromised, rigged electoral process in this country. I'm telling you.
Nobody.
And if they are thinking that they will use the military and use the police as the date in 2024, the military and the police 2020. The military and the police have no absolute control of security orders.
They don't have
absolute control. They only have control when it is lawful. When a commander of an army is engaged in an illegality, that commander ceases jurisdiction to be a commander of an army. He's a civilian. We are commander, now politicians are going into election. And you sit on your responsibility to protect the state. And you side with one person to do what is wrong. When the public sees it and knows it that it is wrong, you cease to be a commander. Captain, this 2024 election, the stakes are very high. Nobody should accept anything than a clean, transparent, credible process. If the NDC goes to an election near Lusu on merit, sir, we'll go back and do our work well. So Ghana force you, President Akufo-Addo have built a very powerful legacy. But here, Juma, you want to yen, the common yen, you better my President Akufo-Addo. The NDC cannot do anything. So we decided to say we must actually make a front of water. And now, woman so you better my woman so no a one village, one district, one factory. No, you better want some that. Woman so near, oh my Juma ye, you better about my woman. Because the claim of MPP said they have created 2.something million jobs come from one district, one factory. It was spearheaded by Alan Kojo Tremantin. Okay, so if they decide, say we'll vote for Avafranto, NDC cannot do anything. But power say they will rig an election 2024. It's a fallacy. The NDC is more positioned to defend the democracy of this country against all odds and get what is right being done. What's up by more the Bonia Bokronwa Bomino near election? Are you in a position to rig an election? Against who? Captain, I must admit, we slept in 2020. The NDC slept. Today we are well awake. But for the NDC, you wouldn't even discuss these things that we have identified. But for the NDC, the public will not even know that EC commissioners are in bed with the MPP to manipulate a provisional voters register by transferring people illegally. With the full knowledge of Boss Manasare. What is he talking about? Office of Abedina TV, so control, and then we would accept hook, line, and sinker. He's a joke.
But who feels a boss man name?
Look, he's the one being used currently.
By who?
By the MPP, by government.
The only
Boss Manasare, yes.
Is the one being used.
He's the one being used with the IT department. Boss Manasare. I mentioned his name. He is the one. He's a dangerous actor at the Electoral Commission today. Very dangerous person that we must all watch. He's the first deputy commissioner to have had about 6 soldiers armed with pistols and rifles protecting him, being driven by a driver. What has he got to hide? Captain, the governor of Bank of Ghana, has he got 6 soldiers protecting him?
No.
The national security coordinator of this country, has he got 6 soldiers protecting him?
No.
The IGP, who is the commander of all the police force in Ghana, has he got 6 soldiers protecting him? No. What does Bossman have to hide? And the government thinks that soldier folk could be commissioner and deputy chair. You have fortified and protected them to do wrong. Let me tell you, if anybody loses their life because of the negligence of any commissioner of the Electoral Commission, they will be held responsible and liable for that loss. We've lost 8 people in 2020. We shouldn't wait for other people to be killed, because we'll be called polling station. Now when we deal with there will be chaos. Look at the hustle. Centralized registration. We will be a 100 kilometers above Chonidin. Okodu polling stations or Kotuaba. Captain, you the DFM. Wouldn't there be chaos? Wouldn't there be chaos? And you think we will have the 2020 where in Crawford or near Covolta radio in Crawford DFM near Eddie near Teho? No, not this time round. Captain, not this time round.
Not this time round.
Not this time round. And let nobody dare the mandate, the resolve, the commitment of the people of this country. Let nobody. It is clear that Ghanaians have decided that, look, we need a change. This government is led by an 80-year-old man who is corrupt. He's led the most fraudulent scheme ever against the people of this country. He's led the most fraudulent deception against the people of this country. He's led the highest level of governmental insincerity against the people of this country. Let them go. 8-year cycle is not favoring this government. The MPP is ignorant of the signs of losing power. We lost power before, so we know. The signs are more than enough for them to know. I would have thought that they will exit quietly. Captain, we have investigated almost 58. That's so called
58 days.
Appointees, including ministers of the MPP.
How my day?
There are most of them that have stolen more than $50 million.
Oh, debut. You are talking about 50 government appointees. And most of them
are still counting.
Have stolen more than $50 million. Yes.
Appointees of this government. What are they talking about?
And then
What are they
investigating?
I'm just saying, sir, look, and I kept telling these governments, sir, if they push us, even in opposition, the things we'll put out, Ghanaians will rise up against this government.
We want to know.
At the right time.
When? October, November?
Because the right time is when you put somebody by court and you put compelling evidence. If President Akufo-Addo wants, let him put his wife as a Chief Justice. 2025, his appointees who have stolen money will be prosecuted and they will be jailed. And everything stolen will be taken back.
What's your power? Chief Justice?
Chief Justice. It will be done. Captain, look, if we forgive this government of the atrocities they have committed against the people of Ghana, your generation is gone. Your children will have no hope. One more to have Brian Champo, now acquire a reckless, very insulting comment. One find a man called America. Do I have the money to take my kids to America? My kids are in this country. This is where they belong. They will not go anywhere. We must do everything possible to protect our children and the future of our children. And as far as I'm concerned, President Akufo-Addo and his crop of appointees are a danger to the next generation. The things they have done against this country. And these are the people who want to threaten our democracy, to say that we'll rig an election at all costs, we'll use every means possible to rig an election, I wouldn't hand over. Oh.
But I don't know EC chairperson or bossman Asari between IBB.
Well, it is who being used. And I've just given you information.
Okay.
When we were doing recruitment of returning officers, the law is such that, and I'm happy a former general secretary is here. The law is such that the Electoral Commission will compile potential nominees and would have to send that list to political parties to vet. If you are a captain in the dean room, as a captain or a politically exposed or MPP name, when you critique, then it comes back to the commission, then the commission will make appointments of returning officers. They didn't do that. Bossman Asari, we have mentioned, basically was calling directors, recruit this one, recruit this one, recruit this one. Captain, and I must say that, and yet the entire Electoral Commission is compromised. The district directors are not compromised. Most of the regional directors are not compromised. The big problem is from the headquarters. Employee, normally the list, NPP list, normally now. You can't almost go and did they do a transparent recruitment of returning officers? The product of this shady work, NEC nullify Wali election. Because Electoral Commission was a supervisor of that election. Is that not so? Electoral Commission.
That's right.
How come we incurred irregularities in that election? Yendi election, MPP, primaries. We saw a staff of the Electoral Commission or Tom Printer or say for ballot papers.
EC official.
EC official. Are they the same people going into the 2024 election? Captain, then we are close to war. Hey, we are close to war. We are close to chaos. Are they going to exhibit that same behavior at the polls? Where a staff of a commission will be seen printing ballot papers, destroying legitimate and correctly voted ballot papers. Hey, Captain, we are not going into that election. Look, we are going into an election where it is 1 for 1. One human being, one vote. If you are a police officer, I hear that Western North, they've had a meeting there. Some of the police commanders say, "Oh, we are police in 2024 no. We can protect Bibina. We have a problem and for commanders no." The IGP is the officer in charge of Ghana's election. If anything goes wrong, the IGP will be held responsible. Mark my words, Captain. The Inspector General of Police and the Ghana Police are shedding some. So one here about us. He has regional commanders, he has district commanders. On the week of election, those commanders will be in place. If a commander sits down and allow for infraction into security is a compromise and neglect of duty. Anamebwa. So what is security kaka? When a security man is positioned, I want to be a gateway. Now when BBC, it's neglect of duty. You will be held responsible. So MPP for training Crophobia, ballot box. We'll deal with those people. We have what it takes to deal with them. Oh yes. The NDC have what it takes to deal with them. And opinion markings, on a election, Otimiya soldier for the constituency to go and intimidate people. I mean, what kind of nonsense is this?
Opinion markings. Majority leader of Ghana's parliament. Even assembly election, or the soldier for Timiko Hoko intimidating Crawford, journalist Central Regional Correspondent. Do we sit in a democratic country and allow people to fester this level of arrogance to power? Captain, what happens to the powerless? So the soldier for Koya to be aware. What's it?
A military officer holding a rifle is not anything strange. He has the law to his side. But if he does what is not lawful, he seizes jurisdiction over what protects him. A soldier for a when people beat them, what happens? Under President Akufo-Addo, they are soldier for your drivers. Those who have excess, to go and be protecting their lands. A Yusuamu as bodyguard, soldier, a military officer, Ghana's army, under President Akufo-Addo, who is the commander-in-chief of the Ghana Armed Forces. Kaswa, who can say you are MPP, operative B. A boss soldier in Chokuno. Captain, will this happen? Me, sorry, who soldier near I have seen the Konkoma Dagomba war before.
You have seen it before?
I've seen it before. I've seen what it is. Captain, it took a disciplined, ordered, fortified armed forces to restore order. And I've told upon Pepra before, sir, he's loved by Ghanaians. Loved,
the CDS?
Yes, loved by
the soldiers.
He's a proper soldier. Upon Pepra is a proper soldier of the Ghana Armed Forces. He's somebody who is a grassroots military officer. He understands the military and he knows the rudiments of military. And I told him that if he doesn't take care and he follows this government, they will crash the military on his head. Because we are getting to a point where MPP said they can use the military against the NDC. They shouldn't forget that in that same entity we have NDC people there.
In that same military?
Yes.
You have NDC
yes.
people
So
there.
when we are pushed, we will trigger a division of the army. When we are pushed beyond what we can take, we'll trigger a division.
What's it?
When we are pushed beyond what we can take, we'll trigger a division.
Bruh,
they are NDC. They say we are pushed. We have NDC soldiers in the Ghana Armed Forces. And all of them, once you are in a military uniform, you are a property of the state.
That's right.
You are supposed to be protecting the state.
But when the NDC is pushed beyond...
But when we are pushed beyond what we can take, and it is clear, sir, the MPP government want to use the military against civilians, want to use the military to rig an election. Oh no, I'm telling you.
You create division in that.
You will not wait for President Mahama to give this order.
You will not.
I keep telling you that we've been bent first, we've been bent second, third will not happen. Captain, we'll go into this election and come clean, no life will be lost. The NDC is in the position to ensure that the right thing is done. So I've told upon paper, so don't leave your responsibilities to politicians because they will mess you up. These people don't have the support of Ghanaians. They don't have. President Akufo-Addo and his government have lost the support of Ghanaians. So the NDC is going into an election with the support, full support of Ghanaians. Look, anybody who calls you is asking, Mama, what na protect the election? No. What is it that Ghanaians are seeing that all of us don't see? And then we say, a common bagana after a populist, propagandist, deceptive, deceit, fraudulent what they call Planting for Food and Job campaign. Almost say a combagana Syria. And the soldier for border to prevent people from exporting grain. That is madness. They should say that to the Marines. We've been in this country when they were exporting cocoa and fertilizer out of town. We had national security officers all over the place. In Akan, last 3 months, national security officials killed 2 people there. One car without light. And the name said now Tracy, smuggler of cocoa. But the people doing cocoa smuggling in Akan are MPP executives. I'm telling them if they want, let them
those
come.
In Akan constituency,
in
the Volta region,
in OT region,
MPP
executives. Yes.
They are MPP executives. You know them.
Me say when they should come on board. And now will be catch a MPP nimba pa FM so we call immigration. I'm so near father and also there be on there protocol no crowd try say Captain, so how did we get to a place where common recruitment at the Juma Bema Ghana from Mebuno? Fraudsters are benefiting from it because it's been politicized, and the structured rules of recruitment that will ensure a disciplined army, a disciplined police service, a disciplined immigration is compromised. And to obey what service 20 years, we're matching orders and to the promotion. Captain, near the politics do biaba. People don't qualify. Near recruitment. What is he going to do? And yet, most of the crimes that happens in this campaign is with the tacit involvement of some police officers. Sometimes even military officers. How did we get here? And so it's a call for all the commanders. The Interior Minister must sit up, because if something goes wrong, he will be held responsible. He's the one in charge of internal security. Our life is in his hands. The IGP is in charge of police. He is in charge of 2024 election. Captain, Peace Council must go to the IGP and say that let us invite the media, invite stakeholders, let us discuss a roadmap into election security. On the day of election, who is supposed to be performing duty and who is not supposed to be performing duty? An officer at the pools, what is his responsibility? And a patrol team, what are their responsibility? And the patrol team, to me, if a polling station operation, we must know all of this. Number 2, what kind of uniforms are we going to be seeing? With the election task force, I deploy various polling stations to go and police our election. What do we do if we have infractions? National security. The military will only have jurisdiction in election in escalated situations. When there is no unescalated situation, at what point are we not expected to see the military? Captain, all these matters must be resolved. So when I see Peace Council calling for peace without calling for proper processes to be respected.
That's why you don't want to sign
they are
peace
funny.
accord.
I see them as people who are leading us astray. Members of the Peace Council, how many are subcontractors? Please. Peace Council, nobody should call for peace without upholding the rules of justice. Nobody should be calling for a peaceful election without going to sit with the president and say, enough, restrain yourself. Hey, don't abuse your power.
You're very mindful of single questions. Now I am Bisano.
Nobody.
I said Bisa question back one day.
Captain, nobody should. Peace Council should go to the Ghana Armed Forces, go to the police, go to the Interior Minister and say who and who are going to be part of election security. Because in 2028 people were killed. They were not killed by civilians. They were killed by people in uniform.
2020. Yeah.
They were killed by people in uniform. What has happened to that? Are we saying that, Captain, if I'm in uniform and I kill, there cannot be an illegal killing by an officer in uniform?
All right. We'll make a crabby. I'll come back to you. Nana. Bibi Aboko. Say me who say me musa three mumu. Me musa question no back one. But I also watch church on be
and so professionally no. Question back at the time they say ubusa. We are interviewer. You free be double barrel questions.
Okay.
And you're professional. Nti ubisa question there. Nanka ubisa one question at a time. Oyi ano a na ubisa. Na say wo single barrel question sikura na. Wonya ubisa na akaya asebe. Anyway, metie menu kuma me ofasi na ensem no a waboboso no. No kure ni ensem no esoso.
Okay.
Na anu ya yebeye program bi wo mu station ha mu invite yem ye ba mo Electoral Elections Command Center monogrity no.
That's right.
Na mu invite ye movement for change. Ye candidate no or co as an independent enye party bidim. Na ye ba na Electoral Commission for nso ewo dwumadie na sibi. Na menya akwanya se me ne mpanyimfo a eba dwumadie na se ne bekasa. Enti me catch Electoral Commission for say Ghana emra ma ho kwan se kontenkro utumi jam ye to abama ma yeye parliament and our president. And so Electoral Commission for ayo ma dwen say omunkuta hodie nyina no omo ne political party nko a ena emra mu no omo ne won edi ensawo so me gidi say saa ekwan na omo fa so di wo mu dwuma no nanso emranso ma ho kwan se independent etumi ko parliament man ye through one election or organize independent tumi ye president man ye no esese ekwan ya omo ankasa de omo anyansa eni tumi a emrade ama omo e de hyehye IPAC for political parties no so omo hwe na independent nso ebe yi eti se ye pese abato ye de ehowura mu bi ni ekọ parliament ana ye president akonwa no wo mo hwe na saa dwumadie no nso saa fo no so nya akwanya na bene kuma ya ansem a o kan no mebisa saa asem no na no se adentina ye koto aba na Electoral Commission for the Ghana fo nyina anim se independent to make parliament, independent to make president. Na ya provisional register. Na Electoral Commission aye na dwen say political parties nkwa ana de bema wo mo. Ebra munnim nso say obi te za lanjo nchematen say oba independent a. Wonim de worker. Obi te say me former general secretary eni mpanyimfo bi a ya politics ni election hwadwuma ya mfe bebere ye nim de ye ke betima aboa no no aboa no ho a obi antimi nka say ye disqualify alanchematem na ye da bi na saa ho boa no ebe hia say saa edin twro na ya twro register no it is the most important instrument in the whole election process. Na ansa na meto amasem so no we die ense me bo ndisi fo abaso papa se register no ba ya eni dakora wo matimi anya adaje na wo mo wosa ni medie no na wo motimi ahwehwe mahunu se ohaw bi eba ohaw bi e wo register no ho e hone de menya ndisi ni menya NPP ni as I sit here na mejidi se saa anamo menya ndisi ni na menya NPP ni me independent.
Okay.
Me free thinker. Na saa dwumadie na ndisi fo adie no me de menim se omo hwe se obobe win election entina omo aye nanso eye dwumadie a omo di a mejidi se eho beba mfaso ama Ghana fo nyina nkese se by now NPP for nso as a very major political party nkese se womo nso womo tumi ahwe buku im because ye no ye present ne Electoral Commission for ye be independent ana womo say
ye mamu bi
womo say ye din ni mo ana ye nka ho no nti no ene womo afre meeting bi IPAC no kra no ye say chinchina ye beko bi womo say ye ba ye observers ye ni kwa say ye kira adwen.
But documents from independent parliamentary presidential
and so you need to see a casa because you're a political party and you need to see a contribute to the discussion. And the register no, me share that a can ho asem wo ha. Ma opani no buy no ka kire me say me boss wo ape one ne mpanyimfo akokanti ne ye be kɔ hɔ na ye ne o ma kodi ho enkomo because senka enye say NDC for once I can. I know Omanya Daji, I know Muhim. No more to data noa a war on the ground. Kagana for your bed who say, or how can CSA Abba Kratano. Na asama ye kano. President Kufuado. Media maka say obi ewo asudie se ohwe ma abato a ye beto yi oman yi modwoa ni asudie no so no kese chen obia ene president a ohwe oman yi so ye ne ayeye amanfo obia wa asudie obia wa asudie but obia asudie no eso baabi.
That's right.
Obia wa responsibility so ohwe ma oman yi dwo saa se me ko no conference bi ase ewo conference center nansen na ne ntia ma me ko kan ye ne se na president Akufuado wagina baabi aka ne bedwam se wone de wo bi a wone na kwa akansi a wadi ne so nkonim de wontimi hand over power emma no. In this perspective, President Akufuado Oni Alanchamatin akwa akansi within party ana odi nizo nkonim. Alanchamatin so contest presidential. Oni President Mahama akwa akansi national election aba wedi President Mahama so nkonim. Enti President Mahama so contest. Enti na chere say saa asem no a President Akufuado kan ye no. So osi yo de ye adwuma na Ghana fo so eyanhwe han so wonfanya adwuma de a. Na chere say all handy over Major Mama, all handy over my Alanchamatin. That's what it means. Because any pay me no or no more I can see Edin Kunimo or a very serious statement. Na president that would not kunyum. De say minu kumeka say abatwa e de president Akufuado e ba tumi mono. E kwan nam so a ode ba be di president e abatwa. Enye war.
Basa Mahama so defeating that.
Basa Mahama dey defeating no Mahama dey hand over man.
That's right. Into as a sort say no one say.
But ono na say ma waka na me. Right. So say obi to me defeat you election bi na kansie bi mu. No no kutatumi no. Wona na be pre. We defeat you. Wona na be pre bi. We defeat no. Ano hand ma wa. Na sebe saa sem no free president Akufuado enum bae no Ghana for ye genesen o man no enti president Akufuado dia ana onu na decide enipa oba hand over ma no eni nipa o hand over ma no ebra Ghana for nyina ato aba we ya no bi aka cho say political talk no e kire sen enti no okasa yemfa no wa anase yemfa no say ne bresem entipedia memfa bibia say political talk o mampani na kasa yo na o mampani kasa
political talk
there be o mampani kasa was said the tio
on your unit committee member
say me ameti here former general secretary of a whole party like MPP my university lecturer my one of the topmost journalists ever Ghana had na me ba bonti na me kan sem bia na me se me de me kan na sa keke there be
yan kan sa
yan sa me mpokura me nyanye vice president me nyanye president me kura na me kasa bedwamu a enipa ye tie me na ya fa masem no ne agina so de atu anamon ana ye de afa adwen no enipa no wo mo doso ebi kura sebe wo mo chen pani enso esane dwumadie bi a madi ene amanyosemu ene omanmu niema de maye no semekasa obitie no de afa adwen no de akoye biribi na mampani na ninsunsanso ene eniema emma ebinom enya gidie ne awerehemu ewo enhyehyeye a fa abato ehu a empanyimfo a yehwe ma niema atoto yie the penny party on the president president etimi appoint DC president appoint chief executive officer of public institutions. President the nominee chairman of the Electoral Commission. President, Chief Justice, President the nominee no. And basically no processes no. President netted the very apex of it. And then me catch it say President Akufo-Addo Yanadwin said no. Abattoir ye betui. There will be no confusion under my watch. There will be no violence under my watch. There will be no death, election related under my watch. Sana bebano, I'm telling you. Nasa wa ntimi amie na no ankasa entu na mo bi saa. Biribi sia, esese ye de hosobo ebono. That one. Because we share senior sometimes nkasa ebutie no a ebi kura na enye ono abi ana ebi obi da tini baby ana open nsem mo ni bi adie nanso akanie no ni tipa ade ifiri ho. Now makanisa awie no, let us go to the nitty-gritty of the issues that are coming up about elections here a day anyway. When you come kasa no, in fact statements will be ne do baby na fe na me so me ya buhu kakra. Because se enkoba ne se gidia amanfo enya ewo Electoral Commission mu nti no e de se yenso ye be yenhwe han na emfofo abeda ne ye kwaye de ene ye betutu ase ansa na enya kwan kura enyi esa eno nso etumi de ohaoba because eyampa okanya nyaga na fo kuro ye na gu police mu ene egu soja mu ene egu national security na yekoto aba yeto security election no a ya yeto ansa na yabeto general election no a eya party ni mienu nyina obi anya bi so mu nyina anya bi it is what say NDC for wo soja mu ene NPP for mu no kra na mom say ye trigger NDC for wo soja mu NDC for opposition ni ye chemu mienu no de honey trouble say Electoral Commission for entimi entutu na montem ensisi anamo yi ansakra niema ankorati mistakes amma abodwoya amma na biribisa ebesi dia na kire se ya man no yakoyanim enso ya tete asan ya hwe yi a ba bi e bekọ akoto no emwa yi mu bia emwa yen asema ye ka no captain menyi ni se NPP fo ni NDC fo nko asem ne ye kan so we ni mokura mpo titiri unti na ebeya ama Ghana fo se omo beto aba ama independent alanchre matin adintra ene Ghana ha ye wo no anka se de me kan abato asem nyi NDC fo nko ne hia wo mu ana nya NPP fo nko ne hia yen eye wo man no kankro enhyehye ye kese pa baako enso san se emim eni esisie eni adwenbone ni etrimoden eni pesemin kuminya ana ebinum nam so de call politics mu ntino wo mo pese wo mo de sa de koro no a ekuta tumi ana ye digitumi enti bibia ye kan ha Ghana ha enne adane NPP NDC adane maabo adane asekantwetwe adane mogehwieguo na ye kan saa no Ghana ye kan saa no mi emfa ni agoro me dem gidi se mpaniampa peace council for wo hode a ene omonyai peace document na asem na omo kan na ensem ya epiepie ba about the register, about people's confidence in the process, about safety and security during election. Steps are all be taken with the police sitting in, with the military, with the Electoral Commission, with political actors sitting in. A bema practical solution in direction say, weni anamonga ye to set the beya techimai 2020. And sign maybe or no. That is what Peace Council should be interested in. Because paper there, who can sign paper? Nase nia esese we ye anamon esese wutu ensiesie esese no obi aboto ne yem na eme nwanwa say over 3,000 names in one region and one constituency. In one region.
One constituency.
One constituency. I mean. There be
minority leader constituency.
There be.
Over 3,000.
3,800.
Wait there. So who friend
transfer
Haruna constituency for about 47 going. Normal transfer the procedure. Lot of places.
Well, wait there. Me electoral commission officer. But say Ura Bossman or director of operations, or deputy commissioner in charge of operations, was say a administrative error padia, and then not me have a kakra, but say error there, and then a very egregious error, very serious error. Nay error so because of the very nature of it, no. And say electoral commission for go ashe dem e ka che say o ma so wo awie there be because obia oye external to electoral commission and or detect error no and or dey beto abonten enya electoral commission for and dey ba abonten be ka che say oh ye hwe ye nkrata mu no ye hunu say ye mfomso obi say ye wo mo a anka megidi say enipa bebere kura ye bo beto ye yam kakra oh wo mo anka say anya hunu ide but one of the key stakeholders, one of the two main political parties, woman enya baimu. So the political implications are that, well, especially because you say party no more baimu no, senia ure kano. Yenti woman no masem wo mo hweye no enya ade a ebeko atia wo nti wo mo yedi na seden ema enkrofo adwen eye wo mo kesenene ye wo mo niema bebre enti ade a begidi se electoral commission for eni abre eye wo mo pepa se wo mpeso wo hihye abato yi na Ghana fo nyina ye beto bewie ansampo ansa na ye beto no ye nya gidie se look ekwan electoral commission for afaso atoto wo niema idie bibie ni ho asebe enfomso kakra ni ho na mum senia wo matua bom modern se sa enfomso akese ye afiri ho ye siesie do ne ye de atodwa ma o manfo ehu na ye nyam gidie ni so wo mutumi ye ne sa ade a ebebu asanse ade ba ko a wiase bia ye ka efa abato ho eboa ehu hia emma abato nsunsuanso amanfo gitum ene de oburoni frɛ no transparency ade a emu da ho pefe sa hwehwem na wo hwa uhu na ase kane no na ballot box a ne ye de to aba Rollins de gba First Republic first no na ye wooden box na ko te se ewiase esum rubber band dia ye de biribitum a so obi fold ballot paper miensa na nan no akabo so kra ana abi before kro ya na boaye sabre no ne ye nyina ye wo party nim say there be election there say transparent. Now in this case transparency became not just a metaphor but a physical reality. Transparency was not just a metaphor, it was a glass box, transparent plastic box. Transparent ye the paper no tumu what ya bonten and no na metaphor crowd real practical sa principle no of transparency no me say amanfo yadwene ya say transparency ya akofom anase ekofom say electoral commission for modern ma transparency no an idea ebe ha dwen 2 violence aba election mo abesen ko under this current government. Asɛm a obia dwene ho a ensɛm a ɛbobɔ ba no ne yɛm bɛhyehyɛ no na koma betu ɛba ne sɛn ane yɛkɔto aba 2020 one constituency enipa nwɔtwe
ne wuye
etumi yɛbɔ mu tuo security officials will say people in uniform ɛbɔ mu tuo ekum wɔn a besi ne abayan timi anka ho hwe ya hunu ni sunsun so ne ya san akoto abafoforo captain ya san akoto abafoforo. So what is the guarantee say sabe ya akoto idie biribi sa entumi nsi ene se enekra ahase say violent tendencies non-transparent practices ya da idea enkrofo ndc for nso kura say so ahase say ya threaten say eh ene na enye ye o hey. Now asemwa ye ka about the potential for danger especially under this current government no very real. And saying late Honorable Baswa no a member of parliament and on a constituency Kumau this is assembly oho ye ko yi presiding member. Honorable Baswa was considered a pro-Alan MP at that time.
That's right.
We're free. As a member of parliament or your ex-official member of the district assembly.
That's right.
And that ye presiding officer no. Honorable Baswa koya. Police for jina at this assembly no gate and daughter no. He is not permitted to enter the district assembly. And that here got to about the presiding officer. I saw the video. I wept for Baswa. One Jojo no to say will be a sabe. One may a memu ne a kenny baby will be a sabe. Papa could be a no sabio and answer for Anya Yibini no abaso or beharding. Under this current government, Honorable Baswa was turned away like a dog, and I was very sad for him. No wonder he may have died out of pain. Nase biribe sad to be see or ye MPP MP. Nanso no ye pro Alan. A kwanya police for fast instruction. Say, or say, me na me MP wa ha. Me share video no. Baswa was basically begging. Me na me MP, me also official member. Me, almost say we are not allowed to enter. Yeah, we ain't to me ma enter. Or pray yeah. Or say any ato abana we presiding. Well, this assembly presiding officer. This is the assembly presiding officer under this current Boadu MPP government. And as I say, here, I ask some abessin ko MZ nekura bi anyame na me boswa obi ampo wirefi, but it is a very dangerous signal of the kind of mentality and culture that has been exhibited by this government as far as elections are concerned. I think, sir, and someone about this register no. Any election related matters no. Electoral Commission paying for a free chairman, chairperson, Madam Jean Mensa, Madam for pa me jinde di me nim se wonim de lawyer ni mapa wonim amanyo semu akwa achiri to the international level. Owura Bosman asare ene mpanyifo agu ho ye nyina ye Ghana fo se wo bi enkuta tumi wa ban mu a eno nkyere se wonye Ghana ni ana se wo yedi pahunu e san se
what say no Mike nemma
me say wo bi enkuta tumi na woni aban mu a enkyere se wo yedi pahunu
okay
esan say if you president so edukosi district assembly wo mo nyina tumi a wo munyae no amanfo kure ya ebinom ofio se ebinom ya papa hwekoi eni dipahuni ye de to sa aba no ansana obi koye assemblyman okoye presiding okoye DC okoye MP okoye minister okoye vice president okoye president na eye menwanwa se politicians eye campaign yetumi pachew eniema yeni ankasa yeti efi anase ye boye bra yenye ye ready se ebeye de asomo manfo de akire se ye bre ye ho ase na yeto abama ye wie na yekonya tumi no pa yetumi dane jata awo yeni ankasa ye busuafo ene yeni ankasa ye manfo so ayade a me din se metiase. But it looks like a lot of the politicians that arrogance of power. Now no alajamatika ene binum so mtiase. There is so much arrogance of power in this particular Akufo-Addo government.
Arrogance.
There is a lot of arrogance of power. Nanya arrogance of power. Anka obia or your public servant because it's our party. Obetimi akase MPP for ye were 1 million ways are able to be a winning election. Hey, Massa.
There's only one way too.
Hey, the arrogance of power. Arrogance of power. Obetimi akase say, we will not sacrifice this election on the altar of peace. We EPP will not sacrifice this election on the altar of peace. Hey, no. Sometimes what things somebody be a. What someone say? And yes, I'm not here na no hey ya omo you be hunu be a omo nye nipa mu be a. Edi prekope MPP ba power. Omo nye tumi ama asem bi e beto nipa nanum no. Otumi ka kire amanfo ma ne ye. Ministers ye bi. Mampani no to be can sometimes what you are not na ohomete mesre Ghana for yen ye de tumi no eba wo mu edi e kan Electoral Commission for ayo mo hyehyɛ di say or how be register no ho Electoral Commission yesremo ebere no hwade nanso mon create time Emma will be to me share register no mu bio and no never avoid a possible war, a possible civil strife, possible violence. It is worth it. Mamo nyamasem twintwan den say yen yekuta tumi no yen yekuta mra no mo ye adwuma de ma omanfo. Se Ghana fo ni ho a Electoral Commission hu hia. Enya Ghana oman ene tiase a ka hwan na ekọ ha ne ho akoto aba. Na ya mamadwuma ye no man sika kese budget ye de nyina abre Electoral Commission se mo mfa anya adwuma se ha baba na se asomdwe baba edu time a Ghana for yetumi nya kokuduro raise issues because obia nchen ne yonko wo Ghana ya hyehye ne diso na obia ni ho an life eye more important than the other person nyankopon nim obia life is very important nyame ena hyehye tumidie enti no se nyame boawo na nyame domwo na ukogina empanini ni tumidie de bra esese kana for yete ase MPP for monte ase se tumi ene bre ye ni nkaso enti se sabre wo na okuta tumi de a osom na wo som oman no na election ko yese mono monko no benefit bi a mo benya nti no amanfo kora to aba na yese ye mpene a na yensesam a mo si da bi ana se empo ansa na ye beto aba no ye manipulate niema no kopem se ye beto aba bewie no na nye wo manfo pe na eda edidi a ene na me kai mo wo mo di tumi no Ghana ha ya Jerry Rollins to me ben wa me di ankyere en Ghana ha eh odi to me
pa
eh Rollins di to me Rollins di to me and I say my kan no di enim bi David o hena ngoma ye di obeka bi
ni on to me come
the bidda
what can den don't me ya no
oh but some of these things are not just philosophical for me they are real and yet philosophical enti yen hunu se osoma ye de soma man no enye ye nko an ye som ye ho enye ye nko an ye nya ebribi a ye Captain me ka masem na me de awie ewo saa asem ye ho no mesre Ghana fo nyina sebe NDC fo mamo nya madwen se mo election mo pese mo wini nti enti bia adamo obi wo ho a mo nso ensese mutu a mo kutu mo raise issues say genuine me gidi se Ghana fo nyina etie we NPP ni we CPP ni o asema da hoyi se wote enkomo a ye boy ni de e koso aba register yi ene niam ebetumi asia e fa wo ho yen susu se ye be ma MPP NDC edidi oman yi ni nkasaye ene ne nkomodie ene na adwenwini bibia mu no yen susu because ekwan bi so ene nso eye di oman yi nya de ebesere mo Ghana fu obia mpagya ne ho obia ma ne ho no so men ka se bato ato me hunu ho nsonsanso MPP ne ndisi mabre won enti na lanche maten so aba wo se medie me so Ghana muja me be ka Ghana abom oyawo ne wotan abeto MPP NDC no me pese me yifiri ho danka wo man yi yetumi hyase foforo eno na ye real change nene nya John Mahama de na nya change John Mahama already president change nene ne wen or a president or a vice president ba umia 8 years or a vice president ne upgrade na ne wen ye hia ensakraya ayen sakraya papa ensakraya be upgrade say where 1% now what 1.1 say upgrade 1.1 from what? Say upgrade. And no upgrade be no. What statistics are? I upgrade. But any upgrade be e do ko baby. Ora Mahama, I say reset and say watch and stop and e turning Allah say great transformation and sakraye and watch the chirim. Akandie no ankasa akandie no. Ye hian sakraye. Oh, mesre Ghana fo bio. Mama mayen koye MPP NDC no mane moroso meje party politics di entina me koye general secretary na we ye biribi ekodu baabi na fe eye di wonya ana se nia esese firi mu baba ye mfasode no eso ate ana sa fe de ye negative a ye dwene ho bio san sesem enti ye hia a government of national unity sabre no electoral commission enya president be appoint no dabi Alan si oba obeye constitutional amendments ma yenya a second chamber of parliament na ye council of state free ho enti IGP chief justice electoral commission chairman ya there sa independent second chamber no omno beye sa appointment no enya president afei se president no emu sabe ne niam bi nso ania sa second chamber no yetumi frɛ no bisa na asɛm ho ma na yeyi honor your friend and sacrifice. We need serious change in the way we think, in the way we do politics, in the way we are being managed. Now your system, no governance system, economic management system. You be basa. Inti here change. Inti media message. And penyufu atu say see no mo na ye masudie. You Rakufo Mr. President. Ye to abani we are. Senye baumia neye alanchamatin ana se John Mahama uni kwan se utimi ka se nya me favorite ese se hand over na oman ne mojo me gidi se oman asomdwi ene ne nkankoro me gidi se eye wonso wahi asem enti ye besere woni o party nyina Ghana fo nti na mo ho enti ense se fa Ghana mo so na Ghana bibi ekochewa be ha yen ni titru eya abato ade ani me ho captain me de masem no ebesi ha
wa kan ina Mustapha sasa
yaka ne nyina wie
yaka ne nyina wie
de be so do se
kan bibi trust kakra na yenko
and now we also we talk about election security and the other. Baba, a very perfect illustration of how a bit me use soldier name and a police name at their rigging election. And no biani a kwachi kumaru MP.
That's why.
That be MP now called bribe electoral commission officer.
I just by election.
I just by election.
The kwachi MPB are all bribe. And yet ordinary person,
MP,
a member of parliament. The case you're doing.
You say lunch.
Police fact so.
Oh, pay lunch.
So it means that the purpose of putting a security officer at a polling station,
it can be compromised. It can be compromised.
There's law and order.
Yeah.
So we are officer now got na no one you juma. We now person kro no bono. Esi. Police fact na sa case no so a. Omu dey fikura. Captain, when him say almost say Sibida, say you appointed deputy IGP. Sibida. But there have been reforms within the Ghana Police Service over time. Ayadu Bebia, you were IGP, GP1, GP2. And you were a whole directorate in charge of police operations. And one more various, innovative units of the Ghana Police form police, anti-terrorism, anti-armed robbery,
even property fraud.
So there have been reforms. 4 months to election and now 5 months to election. We are appointed a deputy IGP in charge of operations. But let me say this. Dan Paris is MPP. Okay. No, he doesn't have to say it. We know it. We know the role he plays with them. Oh, come on. Dan Paris is MPP.
But I say no, yeah. Atamils
of course. ADC. Police junior officer. And Okoye Atamils ADC. But Akufo-Addo didn't buy. Or you Eastern region, so you remember 2016?
Partisanship we do baby
2016. Or you Eastern region, we know what happened there. But let me tell you, in the whole 7 years of President Akufo-Addo's tenure, if there is any single most important nationalistic appointment or an officer who at least have demonstrated some sort of authority to stand for the nation, it is Dampare. Okay. So because the MPP now doesn't agree with him, okay,
and the question is, many Rollins in Temu be now okay.
Tamu, one person Ghana for original.
Next week, we say one question. Just a single bar question. Only Rollins say
and you haven't come. Captain Ghana for solitaire.
There be mutual book with the book. No, Menka.
Oh, the check on book.
Ghana for solitaire, Sadi and Intino. Okay, that is Adia.
Yeah, deputy.
You may jai IGP na is a peteku. No hang ho ya no donase. Near kofa ye unu. So I'm a deputy IGP. Let me assure him. We are 2 steps ahead of him. Let him know. We are 2 steps ahead of him. He cannot do anything to compromise this election.
All right.
He is better off exiting as a service officer. He has served well, his time has reached, he goes on retirement. But if his objective is to team up with the Interior Ministry to do bad to this nation, it will fail.
All right.
Captain, a 204 police for toy, or raffles be. For 4 raffles be. Old raffles now, a free system now. Let's ask Ghana Police. AK-47, Dadano. A for phobia, yato, Ediaba, and Dadano, and the bed. Ghana for a yampire.
To say old raffles.
Old raffles. The Interior Minister. So the Interior Minister should be answering these questions.
Anyway.
Political parties want to know. You don't have to come and say it publicly.
Yeah.
We want to know where those ammunition.
Okay.
We are going into an election. We are Ghanaians. The only business that we have on December 7 is Wakotuaba. AK-47, no, you retrieve it from Ghana Police Service, no, afahim.
All right.
What is the preparation of national security ahead of this election? Nyamidi Traswo. And that year, apart from all the cases we have, political cases I work, including complaints we made about Bernard Champon. So police invited him, or man invited him because he's a minister. When him said, and then what the year, Omukoye TV3, Monamoye outreach programs. I've intercepted a document. Police Director General CID. Atro, the Abre TV3, said John Dumelo said, Lydia Alasa Kunu in the ODMP into investigate. Investigate special complaints unit. Investigate. They have forgot about what Napo said 3 days ago. Say NDC for software. Look, the Ghana Police Service should get busy doing the right thing.
All right.